Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to the Fallout New Vegas All Skills 100 Dash. We hit level 14 toward the end of the last episode, and we need to start the Dead Money DLC before we hit level 15, otherwise we'd get bumped up to the next tier of XP multiplier for the quest rewards. I left my armor, weapons, and anything else with weight greater than 0 at Big Mountain because Dead Money strips your gear, so you have to make do with what you find in the DLC. Get it back from this footlocker when you come home, but since we'll presumably be carrying a lot of loot, it made more sense not to bring it at all. Speaking of last week, I remembered to investigate our mystery XP in the GEC, and sure enough, marked men have a script that checks to see who or what killed them, and if it wasn't the player, Eddie, or Ulysses, it gives the player the XP. There's even a comment in the script that says it was done to give the player XP for killing them by detonating warheads, which is exactly what I suspected. Anyway, Dead Money starts with a message box warning the player that they're entering a DLC area and won't be able to return until the DLC questline is completed. It recommends you be level 20 or higher, and we're a lot closer to that than we were for the other two. Hopefully that means it won't give us quite as much trouble. So let's seek out the radio signal in the bunker. The XP multiplier isn't set until we actually start the DLC proper, which happens when we walk into the room with the radio at the end of the hall and get stunned. The first book is right here in the abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker in this room, which requires a key. Guess we can't get in there until we get back. Or maybe if you hack that terminal? I don't remember. Okay, the last book is in the bunker. If we get it for free when we finish the DLC, great. Otherwise, we'll hack it then. So let's go get ourselves stunned and kidnapped. It doesn't strip quest items, by the way, so we'll still have the transportal ponder, but it only works in the Mojave or Big Mountain, so we won't be able to use it while we're playing Dead Money. Just like Old World Blues, we now get some lengthy exposition about the background of the Sierra Madre, so I'll see you on the other side.
I've downloaded instructions on an audio log to your Pip-Boy in case you can't read. If you forget why you're here, let my voice remind you.
The good news is we're not completely defenseless. Father Elijah at least had the decency to give us a Sierra Madre jumpsuit and a hollow rifle. Now, apparently how much I like a DLC is inversely proportional to the time I spend on it. I edited Old World Blues, my favorite DLC of all time, down to 20 minutes because I wanted to stay focused on the skills challenge, and even the slightest distraction would have taken me down a rabbit hole. Lonesome Road, a DLC I like a lot, ended up about an hour because I let myself get sidetracked a few times. So Dead Money, which is not one of my favorite story DLCs for any Fallout game, will be an epic 10-part miniseries to show you every excruciating detail. I'm just kidding. We're gonna speedrun the crap out of this mother. And there's the Sierra Madre, where we'll be pulling off an epic heist. Of course, Max is totally down with heists. I remember the hollow rifle being okay, but not great. At least it's an energy weapon. Let's have a look. It's better than nothing, and we actually meet the strength requirement, so that's good. It's a shame because this DLC had a lot of potential. New environmental hazards are cool if you use them judiciously, but the cloud is a bit overused. The speakers that set off your bomb collar are a lot overused. And it's a chore to navigate because everything until you get to the casino itself looks the same. I mean, I get it. The villa is a planned community, and planned communities tend to be like that, but in this case, realism doesn't do much for the gameplay experience. These vending machines serve as a shop, but they use the workbench interface because, for plot reasons, they only accept Sierra Madre chips, and the barter menu can only use caps as currency. So to buy, you craft items with chips, and to sell, you craft chips with certain items. Anyway, the story's cool, the characters are great, but it tries to be just a little too cute with everything being a metaphor. If a character's talking over your head because they're too arrogant or busy to explain themselves, or their background is so different from the couriers that their perspective and idiom seem a bit alien, fine. But it just seems like everything is artificially cryptic to keep you guessing until the game is ready to reveal the next plot point. I can only take so much of that before I'm like, if somebody doesn't give me a straight answer soon, I'll just let you all die, and that's kind of on you. This gate's where we came in, and where we'll leave when we're done.
That's the way out after you break into the Sierra Madre's vault. Try to leave. I'll set off your caller.
Fortunately, most of the books are in locations we need to visit to complete quest objectives set by Elijah. All right, let's get on with it. The first book is right behind the fountain where Elijah woke us up. This isn't a book, but it's important. There are 2 sets of Sierra Madre armor in the police station. It weighs 15, same as the Vault 34 security armor, but in full condition the damage threshold is 1 point higher and it's way more durable, so we won't have to get it repaired nearly as often. You could make a case that we should have done Dead Money first just to get this. And here's the book in the police station basement. The next book should be in the clinic basement, here in the room with the terminal to turn off the power. Yeah, in this cabinet with a bunch of fire extinguishers. All right, let's kill the power and let Christine out of the auto dock.
If you're going to be rude, you can show yourself out. Probably won't tap dance no more when you leave, but that's on you.
The next book is in Dean's room, and it's quite the hassle to get. It's under his bed, and the only way to get it is to blow it out from under there with explosives, just like the one in Sunstone Tower in Lonesome Road. And we should probably talk to him first before we start setting off explosives in his room.
The Sierra Madre. Beauty, isn't she?
I have a gas bomb I looted from one of the ghost people. Hopefully I can blow it out from under the bed with that. I generally don't do save scumming, but I did drop a save here. I didn't even know this book existed until I started planning the skills challenge, and from what I've read online, this is notoriously difficult to do. And apparently gas bombs are mines, not grenades. Alright, I should be able to set it off with the police pistol. Might as well put it in a better position since we don't have to toss it and run. There it is. It's still inside the bed's collision box, so we can't grab it. That wasn't bad for the first try. Let's do it again. Same thing. Well, different bomb position, different book position, but still no luck. I think we need more explosives. I went back and picked up a couple frag mines I didn't disarm because I didn't want the XP. Let's try that. Bigger explosion, but same result. So close and yet so far. Well, there are a couple grenade bouquets I didn't disarm, also because I didn't want the XP. Be right back. No. I thought maybe each grenade would push it a little farther toward the edge, but they're just moving it around. Grenades, mines, and the gas bomb? Nope. That one blew the book farther under the bed and got Dean. Plan D. Back to the police station and pick the lock to get the C4. The grenade moved it over to the edge of the bed. Now we just need to blow it the rest of the way out. C4 is one of the highest damage explosives in the game, so hopefully that means it has stronger physics as well. You know what? Let's lay down the frag mines too. Hell, if we're going all in, might as well throw the gas bomb on the pile too.
Watch out if you see a prize lying around. The ghost people leave supplies as traps.
Get out a grenade. Dean, you might want to come over here. Close enough. And let's drop another save. I think that's about the optimal placement given what I have to work with.
Watch where you're chucking those things.
Don't know where it went, but I don't see it. One more time. Let's try the detonator instead of setting it off with a grenade. Not that detonator. Something flew past my head. Yes! Dean, move away from the book.
Sure glad one of us knows what you're doing.
If you make it glitch through the floor, I will kill you myself. Finally. Yeah, the laser detonator couldn't be removed from our inventory when Elijah kidnapped us because we didn't finish the Lonesome Road quest line, so it's still marked as a quest item. Anyway, let's get back to the fountain and talk to Elijah.
Going to need a hand here, partner.
Yeah, I probably should have just sent Dean back to the fountain when I recruited him, but I let him tag along because you're less vulnerable to the cloud when he's your companion. Unfortunately, that means I get XP for his kills. Anyway, the back of my mind's telling me there's an important repair skill check in this DLC, and we can afford 17 points in repair, so we'll put it all in that.
Better make sure he's dead. Poke him with a stick or something.
The next book is in Salida del Sol South, on this bookshelf in a room that's open to the exterior world, right across from the door to the Salida del Sol North. Right here. There are 2 books in the switching station. One of them's on the catwalk right here. The other book in the switching station is in the same room as the terminal to shut off the speakers. If you don't have Christine with you, this is tricky, but with her suppressing the interference with your bomb collar, it's a piece of cake. The book is right here. And I should put some pep in my step because it will still go off. She just buys you some more time. I was trying to save the spears for taking out speakers, but he startled me. Net gain of 4, so it worked out. And level up. I know there are a few fairly hard speech checks that'll make our life easier later, but I don't remember exactly how much speech they require. Well, we can afford 13 more points, so let's do that. Put the rest in unarmed, since the bear trap fist is actually working pretty well. And level 16 is the first time the tag perk is available, so we'll take that. It's probably close to the bottom since it just unlocked. Now, the question is, of the skills we can still afford to put 15 points in, which one makes sense? It doesn't really matter since the skills we've been using frequently are already at or close to the limit. I guess since our most common tactic for this run has been to let enemies wail on us while we do whatever we need to do, survival seems appropriate. From the balcony above the casino floor, just jump over the rail and walk across the top of the decorative arches to get into the cashier's cage. And the book is right here. On the 3rd floor of the casino level, in the room with the auto dock, this one's pretty well hidden. It's on top of the tool cabinet, so it's easy to miss unless you jump on the counter. In the Tampico Theater, in the upstairs room with a projector, there's a book on the shelf right behind you. There should be one on the bookshelf right outside the room where Christine is recuperating in Vera's suite. There it is. Let's read that and talk to Christine.
If I can, I'll help. Might be able to figure something out using the Sierra Madre's computer systems.
And level up. I'm going to start evening some of these out so we have flexibility as more of them approach 100, just in case any of my calculations are slightly off. So 11 points in melee weapons. And 2 points each in barter, explosives, and guns. There we go. The next one is right outside the vault over the edge of the catwalk. Extracted holotape. Don't know what that is, but I'll take it. In that duffel bag below the catwalk in the cloud. This is a terrible idea, but no guts, no glory. Now, how do we get out of here before we die of poison? I know we're supposed to be immune to poison because of the artificial heart from Old World Blues, but allegedly the in-game explanation is that the cloud is corrosive. It's not technically poison. I don't know if that's canon because Dead Money came out before Old World Blues, but the meta reason is that the cloud damage is applied by a completely different gameplay mechanism than the poison effect that's applied to attack by creatures and weapons. And I'm stuck. Great. Well, at least I'm not stuck in the cloud. Jump. Strafe. Something. Come on. I don't want to have to reload my last save. Come on. There we go. I think there was a valve like that at the other end without a... Yes, no catwalk above it. There we go. And with the conclusion of the slideshow, we're teleported back to the abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker. The room's unlocked, so we don't have to hack the terminal to get the last book, which I thought was going to be the first book. There are clues all over that this was Elijah's hideout, including his robes in the footlocker. There's a Sierra Madre vending machine, so you have a place to spend any Sierra Madre chips you have left over. And that's it. Now let's get our own stuff back. Ah, right. It's not actually in this footlocker. It gives it back automatically so you don't forget. Well, Dead Money didn't blow the XP budget as much as I thought it might, so let's go back to the sink, do some housekeeping, and get the last book from X13. This is the last one. Deactivate.
Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.4. Impulse accelerator online.
Okay, let's go back to the reward safe and get the book. And we level up. Sticking with the plan to level these out so we have more flexibility as we get close. 3 points in barter. 3 points in explosives. 4 points in guns. 4 points in melee weapons. And 3 points in unarmed. And for the perk, we're back to intense training in agility. And don't forget to pick up the book. There it is. Ho ho, it appears my sneak skill is a bit better than the last time I was here. Ho ho ho. I could do a convoluted series of side quests to get into Big Sal's office, but this is easier. If I pay attention. The door opening by itself made him vaguely aware something may be amiss, but we're in caution, not danger. And hidden. So far, so good. I don't think anybody spawns up here until the end of the quest line with Caccino. Which one is Big Sal's office? I think the one on the right is Nero's. Well, if I'm wrong, we'll just have to pick them both. There we go. Nobody upset by that? All right, if this is Big Sal's office, it should be on a bookshelf near his desk. There it is. Let's just read that now in case anybody gets the bright idea to confiscate it from us. And that leaves only one more book in the game. We need to confront Benny to get it, and that means a fairly substantial XP reward, but nowhere close to putting us over budget. We'll actually need to level up a few more times, so being prudent with the XP early on really paid off. None of these guys seem to know or care I ripped off Big Sal, so another perfect heist. Hey, I know that guy.
What in the goddamn? Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves like smooth little babies.
Now this is a coincidence. I came in here to gamble, and who do I see but the guy who shot me in the head?
I hit what I was aiming for. Guess you had brains to spare. Or you just thick-skulled. Either way, baby, this is good news. Maybe I can finally sleep at night, knowing you didn't die. What say you and me cash out? Go somewheres more private-like. Any questions you got, I'll answer.
We need to get into the presidential suite. What'd you have in mind?
To start, I'll comp you the presidential. Best suite in the house. You deserve a taste of the VIP lifestyle. I'll hang out down here for a while to make everything look business as usual, then come to you. Any questions you got, I'll answer. Guaranteed.
Fine, but don't keep me waiting.
Why would I do that, baby? I want to talk to you as much as you want to talk to me. And you dig this is just first base, right? You and me have a future together, and it's big league and open all night. Here's the key to the prez. I'll see you there in 2 shakes. Ta-ta.
So this is obviously a trap, and ordinarily I'd never do it this way, but this challenge has me in the habit of avoiding XP, so I didn't do the persuasion option to convince him to come up with me. A female courier can also lure him up here with the Black Widow perk, and while his dialogue up to that point seemed oddly flirtatious, I think he's canonically straight. That's just the Vegas rat pack idiom common to all the chairmen. The book is right here, and in a minute he's going to call on the intercom, say he's not coming, and send his goons up to do the job he failed at. Do I have any holdout weapons? Oh, the Saturnite fist. Oh, my friends, you should not have let me keep this.
Do me a favor and stay dead this time, eh? Good night, all. It's been a gas.
Found you. Come.
Lambs to the slaughter. The rest of the chairmen are okay with you killing Benny's goons once they realize he's a fink, so we won't have a problem with them. Let's loot these guys and go gamble. Ooh, silenced .22 pistol. The series is almost over, and now I find one. Anyway, after we gamble, when we leave the casino, Volpace will try to force greet us with an invitation to meet Kaisar, and I'm going to try to pull the same trick I pulled at the Nipton Town Hall. Get the Pip-Boy up the split second the loading screen disappears and fast travel away before he initiates dialogue. Sorry, Dixon, I lied. I need you to stop dealing to Bill and Jacob.
Really? You're such a saint. You know what? I might be willing to stop if there's something in it for me.
I hate to play the snitch card, but I think you're working for the man to keep Freeside down.
Wait, man, you can't go around saying shit like that. Okay, I get your point. You won't have to worry about me supplying those two anymore.
See ya.
Later.
Watch out!
Watch out!
Bang, 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 bang!
Every time I'm here, I kill somebody in front of that kid, and he just doesn't care. All right, let's tell Jacob his supply is drying up. I helped with that addiction problem you mentioned.
I saw them. Thank you so much for helping them. This means a lot to the followers of the apocalypse. You have our thanks. If you need some medical supplies, come see me. With Jacob working with us, we should be able to spare a stim or fixer once a day.
Thanks. Goodbye. Huh. We're already idolized by the followers, but apparently that gave us a little bit of Freeside fame, too. More importantly, continuing the trend, 4 points each in barter, explosives, guns, and melee weapons, and 1 point in science. Rex's new brain didn't quite push us into level 20, so let's take care of that mercenary problem for Marcus while we're here.
Our business is with the muties, not you.
Yeah, well, it just became my business, and I'm no longer avoiding XP, so you do not want that.
I've always known when to fight and when to back down, and it seems to me I ought to back down this time. My men and I are leaving. You won't see us around here again.
That's what I thought. I should only have 6 points left in melee weapons, but that says 10. I'd better check the formula here in a minute. At any rate, we can safely close out barter and science and put the rest in explosives. And for the perk, another rank of intense training in agility.
Muties aren't so tough if you've got the firepower. I'm sick of waiting.
And that was just the XP for the speech check that pushed us into level 20. We still need to actually turn in the quest to Marcus.
Something on your mind?
You won't have any more trouble with those mercenaries.
Good. Glad you didn't kill them. Letting them walk away proves we're not bloodthirsty mutants. If NCR or anybody else is looking for an excuse to attack Jacobstown, they're not going to get it from us.
Kapla!
See you.
I know we avoided him in episode 4, but I'm glad we got to talk to him. So there's good news and bad news about my skill point projections. There's not a major problem. We don't have to start over like the Fallout 3 version of this challenge. Don't panic. But remember when I decided the strength perk from Old World Blues counts for the skills challenge, so we had 4 more points than I thought? Well, the bad news is the level up screen disagrees. Even though the reinforced spine isn't a temporary buff like drinking booze, it doesn't count as completely permanent either. That's why the level up screen showed melee weapons at 90, even though the Pip-Boy shows it at 94, and the spreadsheet said we only had 6 points to go. I realized during Lonesome Road that we were going to finish collecting books long before we hit 100 in all skills, so we'd be able to go back and get the book from X13, and of course we did, but I left 4 skill points on the table in Lonesome Road because I thought we were 4 points ahead of schedule due to the reinforced spine, and we actually weren't. The good news is we can go back to Lonesome Road and get those points, no problem. The bad news is going back will completely undermine my clever little monologue at the end of that episode. The good news is we can fix that too, sort of. Level 21, we finish off explosives, put 6 points in guns, and finish off melee weapons too. What?
Threat analysis red. Engaging hostile target. Weapon status engaged.
Okay, that's really weird. The game doesn't let you level up in combat, so I assumed I got a critical hit and one-shotted it. Okay. Now, let's go explain nice and calmly to Ulysses that it's not reckless curiosity or vengeance or any of the stuff he was talking about. I only came back for the skill points. I need to use the terminal. Now, we could let Eddie out, but that would also release the sentry bots, and he's nice and safe in his recharging pod. So, Ulysses is dead, his iBots are dead, the marked men are all dead, and there's a countdown in progress to launch a nuclear first strike against the NCR. Don't ask. Let's just, see what this terminal has to say. Oh my. It's a shame I didn't let Eddie out. He probably could have aborted the launch. Well, since I have 0 rep with the NCR or the Legion, the only thing I know about either faction is that I've stolen a few books from them. I guess the only fair thing to do is nuke them both. Confirm launch. And I think we should probably get out of here, yeah? Well, now we have a reputation with the NCR and Legion, and it's not good. On the bright side, we get the Dead Man's Burden perk, which lets us put a single point into any one of our special attributes. And we get fame with the Boomers, because they like blowing things up. Ditto for the Powder Gangers. Unsurprisingly, we're now vilified by the NCR and the Legion. But we'll put that all-important point into agility, making up for the not-quite-real strength increase from the reinforced spine perk. And that's a lot of XP. And remember, we're still getting the lowest multiplier. Hopefully Volpace is still somewhere near the tops, waiting to force greet us.
The eyes of the mighty Kaiser are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Any crimes you may have perpetrated against the Legion are hereby forgiven. Seek Caesar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The Cursor Lucullus will be waiting.
Caesar admires me for nuking his homeland. Something wrong with that dude's brain. And while I'm on the strip, I have an invitation from Ambassador Crocker that I never got around to RSVPing.
You received my message. Good. I realize that it may seem a little strange that I'm contacting you, considering your reputation. But I have a business proposition I'd like to discuss with you. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks.
Gotta respect a guy who sees nuking the Long 15 as nothing more than a supply chain disruption. Let's go talk to the boomers. I swear I didn't plan this, but I think we're going to bring this run full circle. I did go get myself idolized by the boomers and salvage the B-29, but nothing unexpected happened and it wasn't quite enough XP to level up, so here we are, finally helping Sonny clear geckos from the spring. We may be slightly overpowered for the tutorial quest at this point, but hey, it's easy XP. And still not done? All right, we need to rescue the settler.
Help!
No, help is before. Thank you is after. And here it is. I didn't want to jinx myself by saying it before it happened, but we're about to get all skills to 100 at level 22. You can see melee weapons is a natural 100 now, even without the reinforced spine perk. We'll put 6 points in survival, 10 points in unarmed, and the other one doesn't matter because we're going to take one more rank of intense training in agility, which will take guns and sneak up to 100 as well. And it looks like Sonny wants to have a chat.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Now, as I've said a couple times before, if you don't think this run was legit because I used the glitch in the skilled trait, then the real answer is you can get all skills to 100 at level 30. I don't think I actually have to do that because it's just basic math. If we look at our skills, we'll see they're all 100 at level 22. And by the way, did I say, woohoo? Deduct 10 points from every skill, what we got from the glitch, they'd all be at 90. So we'd still need to make up 130 points. We're getting 17 points per level, so if we level up 8 more times, that's 136 points. So we'd hit straight hundreds at level 30. But level 22 is the real answer as far as I'm concerned. That said, the level 30 answer is interesting because a lot of sources say the reason you need the DLC to get all skills to 100 is the increased level cap, but that has nothing to do with it. You only need the DLC for the skilled trait and the extra books. We'd get 4 more perks before level 30, which means, contrary to what literally every other source will tell you, even without the exploit, the Logan's Loophole perk, which caps your level at 30 in exchange for being immune to addiction, wouldn't prevent you from getting all skills to 100.
Howdy.
Cheyenne? Oh. Oh, you poor girl. I don't think that was the geckos. I think you got hit by a glitch. Well, don't worry. I know a good doggy doctor in Jacobstown. A little reputation footnote. We've been idolized by the followers since episode 3, and after today, we're also idolized by the boomers, liked by Freeside, and accepted by the Powder Gangers. And those are the only 4 factions we have any reputation with at all. Somewhat counterintuitively, the amnesty from the Legion and NCR completely reset our infamy to 0, and we never had any fame with either one, so they're once again absent from the reputation screen. Which wouldn't be that strange if our infamy had been from run-of-the-mill theft and murder, but in this case, kinda weird. Even more amusingly, in a demonstration of how much karma is an afterthought in New Vegas, after being evil for the first few episodes, the large quantities of medical supplies we donated to Julie Farkas brought it up to neutral. But nuking 2 sovereign nations didn't have any effect, so that's where it remains. We obviously could have gotten the good ending to Lonesome Road, but Max. One more thing worth noting as we gaze out over our domain. It's theoretically possible to get all skills to 100 below level 22 if you have a lot of time on your hands and you're willing to cheese the game much harder than the skilled trait exploit. We didn't play the Honest Hearts DLC because it doesn't add any guaranteed books, but it does add 4 special workbench crates that contain randomized loot, and there's about a 10% chance that any given crate will include 1 or more skill books. It can be up to 4, but the chances of that are very low. The odds against getting 4 books from all 4 crates are astronomical. That said, the contents of each crate are locked in the first time you enter the cave where that particular crate is located. If you wanted to use save scumming to get a specific item, you'd have to quick save outside the cave entrance, go inside, run to the crate and check it, and then quick load and repeat until you get what you want. Assuming you could do that once every 30 seconds, then on average, my back-of-the-envelope probability calculations say it would take about 250 hours to get 4 books from all 4 crates. And that doesn't include time for sleeping, eating, and other biological functions. But if you had the time and patience to do it, 16 more books is 64 skill points. Here's how it breaks down on paper. To minimize XP, you'd want to lock in the Tier 1 multiplier for Lonesome Road immediately after getting the intelligence implant, but save it for last. If you did Old World Blues next, also with the Tier 1 multiplier, ignore the books and speedrun the main quest. You could theoretically get back to the Mojave at level 9, low enough to get the Tier 2 multiplier for Honest Hearts. Take the same approach, you could get back at level 14 and get the Tier 3 multiplier for Dead Money. Collect all the books in that one, and you'd be level 18 when you get back. Then do Lonesome Road with the Tier 1 multiplier you locked in earlier, but come back after you collect all the books, like I did in Episode 5, and you'd be level 20. Go back to Zion and cheese the 16 books from the workbench crates in Honest Hearts, and that would more than make up for the point of agility you sacrificed by not finishing Lonesome Road. Finally, go get the books from Old World Blues and the base game, and it's just too close to call with back-of-the-envelope math if that would nudge you into level 21 or if you could get it all done at level 20. At any rate, you'd have to be even stingier with optional XP. No killing, hacking, lockpicking, disarming traps, side quests, none of that, which would make things pretty tricky. You'd also want to disable Gunrunner's Arsenal because some of the new achievements it adds give you XP, like the one in the Hopeful Barracks. Which, now that I think about it, I didn't use a single GRA weapon or ammo type in this run, so I probably should have disabled it before we started. But if anyone wants to deal with all that and do 250 hours of save scumming to get all skills to 100 before level 22, I will accept defeat gracefully. Well, I had a blast. I'm relieved I didn't have to replan and start over like I did with the Fallout 3 challenge. Dodged a few death threats there, I'm sure. I hope you had as much fun as I did. As always, leave a comment, like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.